I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. The debt ceiling, crashing the economy, ending the financial system as we know it. Which is exactly what every news show is telling us. In fact, the level of cow excrement farted out by our current media, CNN, MSNBC, and the gold medalist of lying media, Fox News. You got to admit, guys, they do really bring it when it comes to screwing over the American public. So, what is the debt ceiling, and why are they claiming it's the end of the world? Well, because it keeps you scared out of your mind and watching the news, and which also means you watch the commercials for the walk-in bathtubs and trying to get you to sue Camp Lejeune. Here is what the debt ceiling is. The debt limit doesn't raise the debt. We've already spent that money. Debt grows when spending exceeds revenues. The debt limit is just us agreeing to pay for what we already spent. That's it. It's agreeing to pay your bills. That's it. What's funny to me is that the Republicans who are threatening to not pay our bills are the fuckers that spent the money. During the last administration, 1/4 of our entire debt was created by Republicans. And what did they buy? Healthcare? Yeah, so we could all have a productive economy and people don't die broke? Nope. Did the Republicans spend that $7 trillion on fixing climate change so we don't drown in our houses on the second floor or have a tornado move us involuntarily to another state? Did the Republicans use the money they spent in the last administration to build a giant solar farm that can power the entire country and ring in an era of cheap, clean energy, creating a pristine utopia that would evolve the human race to a level with the power of gods?
If you wanted to power the entire United States with solar panels, you only need about 100 miles by 100 miles to power the entire United States.
Right, gods. Instead, what the Republicans spent the $7 trillion on was giving billionaires more billions, millionaires more millions, and letting defense contractors build trillion-dollar planes that don't work. You know, conservative values. Kevin, I'll kill a baby if you vote for me, McCarthy, is holding the debt ceiling hostage, even though Biden and the Democrats being in charge have already cut $1.7 trillion from the deficit and added 12 million jobs, passed an infrastructure bill, added 800,000 manufacturing jobs, and passed the CHIPS Act, bringing manufacturing back to the U.S., making potato chips. The Republicans, on the other hand, passed laws against drag shows and put the full force of their political power to stop the 4 trans athletes per state while our kids are getting shot in school. Then the GOP refuses to pass gun legislation while trying to stop mass shootings with thoughts and prayers. They added $7 trillion to the debt. Now they're mad about paying the bill and trying to blame the Democrats. I think we have to face the fact that the current Republican Party is America's mentally ill, alcoholic ex-wife who can take zero responsibility while blaming everyone but themselves. Just our insane ex, drunk, in the street, yelling, "Woke! Antifa! Trans! Drag shows! I need my guns! Abortion! It's all your fault!" And like an ex-wife, I love that Dark Brandon refuses to have a meeting with this bitch. I'm Christopher Titus. And this is the Armageddon Update. Dark Brandon. I love that he basically took the name and flipped it on him. Now he's ripping their asses at the correspondence. They just look stupider every day. How is that possible? Hey everybody, Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. With me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander. So hi everybody. Hi. I'm trying to figure out the debt ceiling. That's what I feel today. I feel like this should be the most instructional one because they keep saying that like there's a big fight going on between Kevin McCarthy. Kevin, please vote for me, or I'll kill a baby, whatever you want. McCarthy, as I said, he keeps, what they're trying to do is make it look like the Democrats want to keep raising the debt and not paying the bills, right?
It's a dumb name for it.
Yeah, the debt ceiling, because that's not what it is.
No, so everybody thinks that Democrats just want to spend a lot more money. No, it's already been spent.
Right?
Yeah.
We're paying the $7 trillion that they spent in Trump's administration. We're trying to pay the debt on that.
Yeah. So the longer they dick around, the more it makes us look. It's like your ex per se.
You can't see your eyes at all, by the way, with the hat. It's really
Our numbers are going to drop.
Yeah, if we don't have your pretty eyes, you gotta pop that hat back a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. There's no. Hey, y'all. Hey, how's it going?
Why are you wearing a hat? No. You don't film with a hat.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so it was at this point in the show that Titus and Ray got into a little mild argument. That was very awkward for me, and it's like I wasn't even there. Anyway, but it's fine. They're married, so it happens. So we decided to cut that part out, and we're going to just restart the show right here.
Okay, so let's start over again.
Fine.
Good. Great.
The debt ceiling. The debt ceiling. Okay, so basically, let's say they put in the budget to pay our debts that we already have, not the new budget, but in the budget they put this thing out. $300 billion goes to debt. This is what I think it is, because I'm trying to figure it out. $300 billion. So every month we pay our debt, right? We have this much money budgeted to pay our debt. Now it's going to be June or July, and we're running out of money. So we hit the debt ceiling, which is we have to pay our debt. We have $300 billion. We've hit $300 billion. So they go, okay, well, we need to allocate some more money to pay our debt. And the money's already there. Mm-hmm. It's in the budget. So we just go, okay, we just got to allocate more money to continue to pay the debt. It's not adding a new program. It's not saying we're going to now give, we are not giving immigrants penis implants. That's not what the money's being used for.
Prisoners, gender-affirming surgeries or
we're
whatever.
Not adding boobs to everybody in cell block D. We're not doing that. We're just paying the debt. But because it's called the debt ceiling, what the Republicans have grasped onto is it's really easy to paint the Democrats as spending. And if you don't negotiate, we're going to shut the government down. Because it thinks and the polls are showing that that people are buying it. They're buying it.
Can we be very clear? So if this is already debt that we have, that means it was run up before and we now need to pay it.
Exactly.
So under the last administration, our
$7
deficit,
trillion.
Yeah.
A quarter. Actually, a quarter of our current debt is specifically because of the 4 years. Now, by the way, our debt goes back a couple hundred years. And in 4 years, Trump added $7 trillion to it.
We're still paying back the loan from the Civil War.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was for musket cleaners, quill pens, a lot
Robert
of quill
E. Lee
pens.
horses.
Yeah, just feathered, quill pens. We're still paying that off.
Slave food.
But then when you look at it, if you look at the facts of it, and again, guys, I always sit down when I'm writing these and I get to a place, I'm like, this is what I think's going on. And then I go look it up and figure out what's going on. Dark Brandon has dropped the deficit, not the debt, but the deficit $1.7 trillion. That's how much money he's cut out. Mm-hmm. He's added 12 million jobs. Even if you take the 3 million that Trump lost, he still added 9 million jobs and 800,000 manufacturing jobs. And in the infrastructure bill, the only way they can build bridges or build any infrastructure in the country, everything has to be sourced from North America. It cannot be, we can't use Japanese steel, we can't use Chinese steel, it has to be sourced here. So the money from the government to build the new school goes to companies that work in America. That's how money flows. That's economics. So you've got, and then they've got the CHIPS Act, which again, I don't know if it's for potato chips or computer chips. I don't know. I was busy. But
that's for Eric Estrada to his career to come back.
It's for cops. It's for acting cops.
Do you remember when I thought Eric Estrada stole my laptop?
Weird moment in the airport.
I really did. I really did. I was so mad at Eric Estrada.
We run into Eric Estrada at luggage.
He flew with us
at baggage claim, and I was like, "Well, I just want to say I was a fan for a long time." And he's like, "Yeah," and we were talking, and then all of a sudden he walks away, and she goes, "Where's my laptop?"
No, we got home. My laptop was gone, and the only person we had been hanging out with was Eric Estrada. Right. So I was telling everyone that Eric Estrada stole my laptop.
What's evidence? He's a police officer.
And then she found her laptop.
He is actually a police officer, right?
I heard that.
He went on to do policing somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, very nice man. Not a thief.
Did not steal your laptop. We figured out later on that he did not steal.
Hunter Biden stole your laptop.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. That's what I'm so tired of. It's Republicans are better at messaging than we are.
Totally.
And
They just beat it to death, though.
yes, even if it's a lie.
Right.
And I said that like Gracie. Yes. But Biden's lowered the debt. We don't hear about that.
Right.
They're not repeating that every day. They're not tweeting it. His press secretary, who I think sucks, is not saying it repeatedly when she's asked questions.
She's not good.
You don't hear about it. And you also don't hear from Biden's administration how much Trump raised it.
Yeah.
We're not hearing that. So all I hear from family, like even grandma said, that she thought Biden spent too much money. The Democrats are spending too much money. They're giving away money.
I think we give Republicans too much credit for being good, quote unquote, at messaging. It's effective, but I think it's partially because it's the if it bleeds, it leads idea.
Totally.
And also
True.
the Democrats suck at messaging. I think
Yeah.
it could be a balance.
True.
Of like they're
Yeah.
horrible at just going, because I would be up there if I was, I'd be like, hey, you
Right.
guys, do you remember where we were 2 years ago,
Yeah.
you dipshits?
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years ago, we had 5,000 people a day. We were stacking bodies in semi-trucks, frozen semi-trucks in the parking lots of hospitals.
Yeah.
None of us could go to work. The economy was crashed. There was no toilet paper. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm a little upset that things are kind of messed up. What are you even talking
Well, here's
about?
the other thing. And what made me think of that was you bringing up Hunter Biden laptop. So Hunter Biden obviously was a drug addict, obviously did some things. I don't know what, but I don't have to know because he's not in the administration.
Right. He's not.
He didn't have a security clearance pushed through to be in the White House. And so
Like
I don't
Jared
care. If he
Kushner
did
did.
something, put him in jail or don't just put him in jail, give him a trial, whatever. I don't care. I don't have to spend time on that. We hear about that all the time. And I'm now would call myself a Democrat. Maybe before I said independent, but now, yeah. But we never have that counter argument hammered into our heads about the fact that he put all of his kids in the White House
Right.
who had no experience doing that,
Who profited greatly.
who profited so greatly.
$646 million they made while they were in the White House.
In the White House. And then as they were transitioning out, $2 billion from Saudi. And
Got $2 billion
how
from the
much
Saudi
did
government.
Trump make while he was in the White House?
$2.3 billion.
But all I heard from my family all the time, he gave away his presidential salary. He did it for nothing. He lost money. We're never hearing that.
Right.
So, but we hear about Hunter Biden laptop all the time.
Well, and the thing is,
We need you.
Do you okay? So let's reframe it. Do you understand how bankrupt the Republican Party is? That this one-time crack addict son of the vice president at the time is the only thing they have. Do you realize it's the only thing?
No.
He's old, and he's old.
Trump is 2 years younger than he is
Yeah.
and considerably in worse shape.
Yes.
But they also have the one transgender swimmer in Virginia.
Yeah, one transgender swimmer, right? They got, that's right. Who won a meet and was like, "We can't let this happen. The country's falling apart." There was a shooting. 12 people got killed. Shut up. Second Amendment. This transgender swimmer is like, I don't understand.
Well, this goes back to your point about the debt ceiling. Is that if it's the bad news gets
the
put
news
in
is
the front,
horrible.
and if this is one of the ways to paint the Democrats in a bad light. Is like, okay, if we can kind of fight this and we can paint them as the spenders, that they're reckless. And then we're losing the country.
That's the only way they're going to get back in, because right now, I mean, they're taking women. And can I say something else that I don't understand? This has been making me nuts. So they keep talking about freedom. And I watched Elon Musk on Bill Maher. And Bill Maher had his tongue so far up Elon Musk's ass at one point.
He did.
At one point, I was like, wow, man, you're going to be tasting Tesla tires for a long time. And Elon Musk goes, the woke mind virus. And he goes, and Bill Maher goes, what's the woke mind virus? And he goes, well, it's stopping free speech and freedom and limiting people's freedoms. And I wanted to go, can you fucking stop for a second? You guys are taking women's rights away. They can't handle their own thing. You're taking voting rights away.
Banning books.
You're banning books. You're literally taking books out of libraries. You're actually banning. You can't say words now. Gay. You can't say the word gay in Florida.
Yeah.
And it's the woke mind virus that's ending freedom. What the fuck are you talking about?
I believe that's right.
What words were? What's he trying to say?
Well, they're saying that people get canceled. He goes, they've tried to cancel you repeatedly, Bill. And Bill goes, they have both sides. So, and I go, well, that's
different.
I go. But Bill Maher, I wanted to go with Bill Maher. It made me nuts. I would go, Bill. That means you're kind of in the middle. You're poking both sides. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't be mad about that. Elon Musk, on the other hand, is getting shit hammered, and because he's worth so much money, I think he believes that he's right all the time. I think at one point, people go like this: "Well, look at my bank account. I'm obviously right. I'm obviously right." Mm-hmm. Even though
some people, money turns into assholes.
Right.
That's all I think. I mean, yes, he's brilliant, has great ideas. Or steals great ideas.
He recognized. Right. He's like Jobs was one of those guys too. Jobs didn't know what to do, but Jobs could walk in a room and go, "I want you to touch this screen, and you'd be able to drag this across. That's what I want." And then he would look to an engineer, some kid who was like, "I don't know if I can do that." Mr. Jobs, that can't be done. Well, you better do it or you get fired. Okay, we're working on this now. All right, guys, get in the huddle and let's try to figure out what this fucker just told us to do. So. I agree with that in a sense that Elon Musk has become so fame is so addicting. It's not just money. He's got all the money in the world. He's got enough money for 7 or 10 generations, 50 generations. Still? Oh yeah, he's still worth. He's still. Well, the company can win under 500 billion.
Yeah,
it was worth close to, but he's still worth over 100. So my question is,
wow! Even after all that, 173 billion.
Yeah, he's well.
Okay, never mind.
He's fine, but so if money's one thing, Warren Buffett's a billionaire. Mm-hmm. Rupert Murdoch's a billionaire. Rupert Murdoch, we were doing an Armageddon, but I was trying to find pictures of Rupert Murdoch in different situations. Fucking, there's only out
4 or
at
5.
big things. Yeah, it's hard to get a picture of Rupert
and they're all
Murdoch.
the same one.
Yeah, it's the same with another with the girl next to him.
Like a potato head and the glasses, and that's it.
And a pretty girl next to him. Yeah. Elon Musk, on the other hand, is dancing at his things. He likes it. He likes the fame of it.
Well, the richest guy, Bernard Arnault, I couldn't pick him out.
Nope.
Couldn't pick him. I need to, since he owns Dior and things like that. I need to know what he looks like so that I can assault him in public, take his wallet.
Couldn't he have been even the biggest, most famous, most historic human being ever of Earth? And he could have been Elon Musk. He could have solved world hunger with the money in his sock drawer.
We don't hear about what Bill Gates is doing.
Yeah. No, but then when you do hear about it, he's like, he's oh my God, he's inventing vaccines and stuff. He vaccinated Africa. And I want to go, the downside is what exactly?
You mean people that don't have access to healthcare?
He's working on an Ebola vaccine. What?
Right.
Yeah, that fucker. Why do you talk? What? Oh, what else happened? There was something. So here's my question. Everything they say is the opposite of what they do. Ray brought up this whole thing about, she was watching today, and this shooting's going on in Atlanta, and she goes, oh, you guys care about
back the blue.
Freedom, back the blue.
And yet you continue to send police officers who have husbands and wives and children and grandchildren into these situations,
mass shooting situations,
where they are outmatched.
Where you're willing to do nothing about
You're
it.
the party that takes care of children, and yet you continue to send kids to school in a situation where the number one killer of children in America now is guns.
Yep.
Nothing goes together.
And they believe it, and they're evangelical Christians too, where they're like we believe that you should be good and you should and live a better life, not like those crazy Democrats. I'm sorry, the guy that's going to be your presidential nominee is literally in court right now for raping a woman in a department store.
I saw this, somebody tweeted this. I was looking at your Twitter, and it was an AI generated image of Trump, looking angelic with the Bible.
Oh, I saw
and it
that.
Said, it's the tweet was, it's time for America to go back to God
Values.
and Jesus or whatever.
With
and
Trump.
If you scroll down a little bit, you would think, oh, that must be for Jimmy Carter. Right, Jimmy Carter was
very
legit.
Walk the walk.
Yeah, okay.
Motherfucker got up at 6 on Saturday to build houses for homeless people.
When he was 95.
Yeah. And then blessed them all.
He was dead and he kept doing it. He's dead now. He's still alive.
But Eugene Carroll fake news. That's what they'll say. But what about
what did they say about the thing? What you were reading about? You were just looking.
Oh no! And then I was scrolling down. I'm like, Trump.
Yeah.
The pictures of Donald Trump.
Did you see what I put? They said we need it, and I said, you mean going back to grabbing pussy and screwing porn stars while your wife stays home with a newborn, just like Jesus.
I had a family friend.
Makes no sense.
I had a family friend and a family member send me a video of Trump, and it says the Donald Trump the media doesn't want you to see. And he walks into a diner in the South, and a redneck woman goes, Mr. Trump, can I please pray with you? And he goes, yes. And then he just stands there for a second while she says a couple lines, and then he's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing. And I want to go, he's not leading people in prayer. What is it? What are you people okay? He just knows to shut his eyes for a second and pretend. He still thinks it's 2 Corinthians.
But it would be funny is like at his rally, it would be interesting for him to lead a prayer. That would be interesting to watch to see what he did. And that woman, by the way, might have been, by the way, dear God, you are a great God, not as great as me, but you are a great God.
There you go.
Oh, say, can you see?
You know, the Bible starts in the beginning. They created money. What?
Stop talking. It would be a train wreck.
It would be a train wreck if you
and
tried to lead.
Put some nicknames in there for political opponents.
Jeezy Weezy, that's what I call him. So
some nicknames in there for him.
They say, God the Almighty, a home run hitter of all time. What's he fucking talking about now?
Beautiful. He's beautiful, Jesus. Bigly.
Bigly Jesus.
According to an analysis of his tax returns, it's now come out that Donald Trump made $160 million from international business dealings alone while he was serving as president of the United States.
I don't see any conflict of interest there at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. I don't see any conflict of interest when they had a meeting with China, and the next day Ivanka got 13 patents for Chinese patents. I don't see a conflict of interest at all. I don't see a conflict of interest at all that Jared Kushner was negotiating with Saudi to the point where Qatar got shut out of aid up until they caved for Saudi, and then he got $2 billion from Saudi. And yet, here's the problem. And I don't understand the cognitive dissonance. Listen, when this happens, when someone fucks up and it's really a fuck up where you're like, wow, dude, you shouldn't be. Dianne Feinstein, quit, resign, you're worthless, get out.
Well,
No, she was great for a long time, but she is not together anymore.
She's not worthless.
You know what I mean? At this point,
it's time
in government, go see your grandkids.
You're no longer able
to do your job.
So you need to say that.
Yeah, and that's a low bar in Congress. And so what I'm saying is that, Dianne Feinstein represented the country great for a very long time. There's a time.
Very long time.
Didn't your dad hate her?
Add another very.
Very
long. And so it's time to go. But if you actually believe in this country and you do the best for the country, then Dianne Feinstein, you should do what's best for the country and let the governor put someone else in there before the next assign. Get out. She screwed us on this last vote. On this last vote they did for the debt ceiling thing that got passed in the House. And the arrogance, the ego, the narcissism that it takes to be 1,005 years old and still say, nah, I still got it. No, you don't got. I don't got it, and I'm not 1,005. Chuck Grassley, dude, you got to go.
The other thing that doesn't go together, there's so many. And they come to me as we're talking. This is another thing I was ranting about when the news was on today.
By the way, can I point out how I got here? Right? Sometimes I'm sitting in bed writing Armageddon if there's something right, or she's in the bathroom getting ready. She's in the bathroom getting ready, and I'll hear. She's brushing her teeth, and I'll hear, "Here's bullshit! You can't believe that!" Because she's yelling through her toothbrush.
I don't watch the news constantly,
but she's hearing it.
When he's doing the Armageddon, when he's writing the Armageddon update, I'm in the bathroom putting on my makeup to come here. So I'm listening the whole time, and it makes me insane. So there's media showing these terrifying videos, zoomed in, people camping as far as you can see, filling the streets of El Paso because Title 42 is ending, and these immigrants know this, and they're ready to come across the border as soon as it ends. It's a starting line.
It looks like the motocross championships. There's like 500 bikes ready to ring.
Hold on, is this the AI generated video?
No,
Have
this
you heard
is
about that?
Oh no.
no.
Oh,
But there is a real video. There was a reporter
Okay.
there talking to people that he spoke Spanish, and he was talking to people from Venezuela and stuff. But anyway, this happened before when Title 42 was about to end. It got extended, so they went back, and now they're back. On your mark. And I told him, I was thinking about it and thinking like it is overwhelming seeing that many people. And then I thought about, they showed they're sleeping on the concrete with their children. These people, it's cold. They're covering with whatever they have. It's cold. And I said to him, I walked out and I said, there but for the grace of God go I. Because we forget that we're all the same. We're not told that by politicians and media, but we're all the same. As much as some racists don't want to hear that. And if you are, in fact, a Christian and a constitutionalist, you would know that all men were created equal.
Constitution.
And you would also know that we were all created in God's image.
Bible.
Thank you. Ding,
Man,
ding.
I am like, I'm on the buzzer today.
If that's what you say that you live by, then why are you okay with treating these people like animals?
Befriend the stranger, also in the Constitution.
Be kind to the foreigner, for you were once a foreigner in your own land.
Fourth Amendment.
The only no.
That's in the Bible. I was waiting to see when you were going to catch that.
No. So I don't know. The only difference I was saying to him between us is that at some point farther back in our lineage, one of our great grandparents took their children and became an immigrant and came to this country.
My family did in the 1600s.
To give them a better life. His family didn't
do
do
that.
anything
Really did
for
absolutely
600
nothing.
years. But
You guys were lost.
I think we
and
just had
then-
a place where there was nothing to do. England, it was busy. If we got here, I'm like, what's it to do? Nothing. I mean, look.
your family is probably the reason we have bars everywhere. They don't own them. They were just like, hey,
We just
I got
kept
an
them-
idea.
We kept them
Patrons.
open.
Oh, that's
we
it.
kept
Yeah.
them open.
So our families did the same thing at a different time. And I understand that there has to be legal means
Rules.
and legislation, not legislation. But also there has to be some humanity in it. These are human beings that the evil asshole Abbott is just throwing on buses, lying to them about where he's going and just shipping them random places. It's heartbreaking.
Well, the funny thing is their Jesus, the Republican Jesus, Ronald Reagan, was the guy who gave 11 million immigrants amnesty. So whenever they talk about,
I know.
If you look at what they contribute, it's between $38 and $62 billion a year to the economy in taxes that they pay and then what they buy and stuff. So when you look at here's the problem I'm having.
But Republican Jesus.
Republican Jesus let 11 million, gave an amnesty.
Wait, that doesn't go together. That's another thing. And who was called the exporter in chief?
Obama.
The Republican Satan.
Right. But it's what you said, though. It's what Goebbels said, Hitler's propaganda minister. Say a lie long enough, it will become the truth.
Yeah.
Never stop saying the lie. And here's where I lose my mind. Because listen, con men are con men. Just to imagine, it's like being a comedian or a musician, getting into show business. The narcissism that you have to believe in yourself so much that you're going to go entertain thousands of people. But politicians think, well, I'm powerful enough. I should be able to run this shit. Really, you should run this shit. Yes, I believe I'm the guy to run this. That's George Santos level crazy.
Yeah.
So those guys have to be that nuts. And I think what makes me mad is not that, because con men are con men. And I've said it before, what makes me mad is the dumb fucks that continue to believe it without doing any shred of research, without sitting down and doing what you did. Critical thinking is dead in America, again, because of Reagan. An educated proletariat is much harder to control. People don't forget. People got to remember. You got to remember the 60s and the 70s, late 60s. People woke up to the fact where education was $300. It was in California. You could go to school for $300 a year to a university. Yeah. Reagan stopped it.
Yep.
Now what happens is you have to pay $30,000 a year. You have to get loans out. It's now so at the end of those loans, you owe $120,000. And guess what? You don't have time to start your company. You don't have time to actually do protests. You have to go to work. You're not a problem anymore because you're fucking banging the fucking rock trying to fucking make a living. So
by design.
And yet, if you look at it the other way, if you took a minute to critically think about education in this country, if you said, all right, we're going to educate everybody for free, what ends up happening is we invent every new technology. We start kicking China's ass. China shuts the fuck down because they can't. We invent quicker ways of manufacturing, cheaper ways of manufacturing because we're all educated. We come up with new philosophies that actually help change the way people see politics and see economics. We try new things. We have people thinking all the time instead of going to fucking McDonald's and trying to make their rent, which they can't make.
We could solve climate change without having to fight about it.
Exactly.
Like there could be like new technologies, new things, new inventions that could solve it and be like, well, we already fixed it. So don't worry about it.
If you look throughout history and throughout the world, countries that had leaders that only existed to promote their own profit, those countries are not
fail every time.
They fail every time. Look at North Korea. So
Iran.
We're not educating Iran, even Russia.
Russia, right? Definitely Russia. Yeah.
So I mean, it's like it doesn't work, and that's what we have: people in government that exist solely to promote themselves and their own profit, and they don't care. They're not thinking forward. They're not thinking, oh, if we educate people, then we can become the world leader in technology.
Right.
We could become the military superpower.
Because we have the best weapons. We'd have weapons that they were like, well, you guys have what?
We'd be the people that export everything because our people are educating. They're creating these things.
Our lab group invented a laser that will basically split everybody in your country in half.
This episode brought to you by Liquid IV.
Yeah, another great product.
A great product that we use all the time. I think every day.
Every day. I had 2 last night. Yep.
You do always have before you go to bed, after you ride the bike, even if you don't. Do you do it every night? Even if you don't?
I always have a Liquid IV sitting in my nightstand. Yes.
It's amazing. Mine helps.
I don't like my pee to be, dark brown in the morning.
Ew.
With a little blood in it.
I've been checked out. I was like, what is that? They're like, you cut back on gravy is what I was told.
Oh my God. I love how convenient it is for us when we travel. Sometimes we take the whole bag if we're going to be gone a while, but otherwise they're individual little tear-off pouches I throw in my suitcase bag, and that way I have them on the road because I get so dehydrated when we travel. But also allergy season, you guys, these help me so much during allergy season. They help. I think, I'm not a doctor, that the reason why it helps with my sinus headaches is because I'm hydrating, which helps loosen up that mucus, and so it gets things moving, and it really helps me a lot during the season, which is gnarly.
I took one too. We do workout on Sunday. I do a workout, and somebody was playing music that was killing me, and I started getting this cluster headache right here, and I finished it, and it went away. They really work. In one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than water alone. You can use it if you're just feeling run down. Use it in the morning when you wake up. You can use it anytime before a workout. Flights helps massively. I actually took them in my carry-on when we went to Scotland so that I could have it while we were in the air. They have new flavors, but I gotta tell you, my favorite is the cherry one, golden cherry.
It's taken over for strawberry?
Strawberry is they're very close. Okay. Strawberry and golden cherry are and I like grape would be my other one. Those are the shit.
Watermelon and Concord grape are my 2.
You like the grape one too?
I really like the grape.
Get Waterloo sparkling grape or strawberry, mix that with that flavor. But somebody told me, because I've told you guys this before, don't mix it with the sparkling water because it explodes. Mix
Wait, what?
Get a big cup, I put in like that much water, and then mix the liquid IV up, then add the sparkling water. Yeah. Don't just pour the liquid IV in, it's carbonated. Water, yeah. You can't do that.
And don't feed it to seagulls?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, somebody told me, they were like, you should have said. I didn't.
Yeah, it could. If you pour it into sparkling water, it could be the Pop Rocks of
That's what it is. That's what it does. So you're getting B3, B5, B6, B12, vitamin C, 3 times the electrolytes of regular sports drinks. If you haven't tried it, you have to try it. I super stand behind this product. Grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Titus at checkout. That's 20% off of anything on the website, even the bundles, so you can save even more when you order. Anything you order when you shop Better Hydration a Day using promo code Titus at liquidiv.com.
Good product.
Also good if you're having a little mixed drink. Oh, they had those new flavors that actually are mixed
they're
smoky
named-
mezcal, whatever. And I was like, oh, all right. You
They're
guys
hinting at it.
smoky
By the way, we
mezcal
know this will help
Paloma.
you. And yeah, we'll get a little wasted on it.
No, it's not. There's nothing, no
No,
alcohol
there's no
in
alcohol
it.
in it. No, but you mix it
But
up.
I thought, oh, you're telling me to mix this with
Yeah,
alcohol.
at one point, it's no longer my fault.
What's the other one? Is it mojito? I forget. But
Mojito, I
they're both
think it was
really
mojito.
good.
Mojito
They're good
mi-
by themselves, but they're also good with alcohol.
Yeah, did you guys see what I've never seen? I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene get her ass handed to her this last week. Basically, she said she was interviewing. There's a lesbian couple, woman they're talking about. She was talking about adopted children and stuff, and they were talking. And there was a hearing, and she basically went, "Do you have children?" She goes, "Well, I married into a family. To my partner has kids, so I'm a mother." No, you're not. You're not a mother. You don't have kids, so you can't be a mother. And man, she got done with this speech, and all these politicians, one of them who was adopted, just shredded her. It was great. I really got, man. Sometimes we make fun. Yes, she's got demon feet, whatever, because she's spork foot. She does. She has a feet, but at one point you just got to go, wow, you're just really an asshole. Some
just
people are
mean.
just
Really gross.
assholes.
She reminds me of someone from your past that is uneducated and evil, and it's such
And
a
arrogant
dangerous
about it.
combination.
And arrogant
And
about it.
narcissist,
Yeah.
and it's really a dangerous combination. And those people seek and destroy, and never gain any knowledge or think about anything critically. Or she's awful, and the fact that she's still in office blows my Boebert too blows my mind. I cannot. Boebert, if you look at her credentials, there are none. And then you can go look at her mugshot and her husband, who allegedly exposed himself to
Not allegedly,
underage girls.
he did time. Not
And-
allegedly, he got convicted of it.
Okay, and she failed her GED and had to take it again to run for
She
office.
passed it 5 months before
Guys,
she ran for office.
Can't we do any better
Her
than
business
that?
her business went bankrupt. That's won't leave
If
me.
you guys are
Somebody-
in Colorado, the guy that lost to her by 570 whatever
60 votes.
votes, Adam Frisch, he is running again. He's already talking about it on social media, asking for people to chip in, because unfortunately we learned from Rick Wilson that the way that people win elections in America is who has the most money. So please, if you're in her area, please go and help Adam out. We need to not see either of them ever
Yes,
again.
true. God. And by the way, this whole debt ceiling thing, it's made up bullshit, because all it is paying our bills. And I was going through the budgets that the Republicans were trying to pass and stuff, and the reason they couldn't pass a budget when Trump was on for a lot of the time because it was all about giving money to people who already had all the money. And so the Democrats were like, stop it. Trump said at one point, he said they have a video of Trump saying this when he was president. By the way, using the debt ceiling as a bargaining tool is just ridiculous. No one should ever do that. It's cheap. And they played it yesterday, and I was like, and McCarthy's doing it. I think McCarthy's one of the worst speakers we've ever had. He is. You really get what I really got with the Republican Party is it's not about the country. It's not about what's great for every American. It's continuing to keep power, which happens in every society throughout history. About 250 years in, it just kind of starts to break down, and that seems to be what's happening.
The irony about what Trump's critique is that he filed for bankruptcy how many times?
6.
Oh, I know.
6, 7 times.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I feel like this is similar to like a filing for bankruptcy.
We
Like if you
also-
can't pay it back, you just be like, nah,
I can't
Not
pay
gonna
it.
pay it.
Sorry. Yeah.
oops.
The problem
We
is
also have video of him saying, if you plead the fifth, then you're a criminal. And that he pled the fifth.
400 times.
Yeah. In one deposition with Letitia James. That's all
400
he does now is plead the fifth. And but they don't care. I don't know why
So,
they don't care.
I think well,
He also wears a fat suit. He's actually ripped
Oh,
underneath.
have
Did you
you
know
seen
that?
the new, what was I saw you were on Twitter again, because someone tagged me like, Ray Ray.
By the way, that's fucked up. People on Twitter. So I went on. There was one or two things I reacted to.
What
and
was it?
And they're like, Ray's gonna. They're like, Ray, Titus is back
Yeah.
on Twitter.
What was the picture that is circulating around about, thank God we have him? It's him.
In a full military outfit. He's full tactical.
Yeah,
Walking through like the jungles of and it's this thing where and he's got these giant hands, and we're like, well, that's not him. That's not him. That's not him at all.
This is made
And
up.
the guy, okay, by the way, here's the cognitive dissonance. This man literally had a doctor write him a note about bone spurs.
Right.
He avoided the draft
Right.
5 times. And you have the balls. Because I have family that was in Rocket that actually watched his buddy get blown up by an IED. And you have the fucking balls to believe, to put this picture of this man in a uniform of the United States military and say, this is our president. Fuck
Thank God
you.
for President Trump. And then they show him.
God,
and I'm like,
I'm so mad.
This
about
is
it.
so
some-
you can't show a picture of him doing something that he actually did and say thank
he
God
can't even
for
drive
him.
a truck.
He can't drive.
No, yeah, you seen that when remember they put him in the truck and he went, bum, bum, and what are you
He
4?
can't hand out candy.
Yeah, he
Jesus
put candy on there. That's right. He handed out candy at Halloween at the White House and he put it on the top of a kid
kid with
dressed
the
as a
basket?
minion.
Yeah.
Person,
they
woman,
can't-
man, camera, TV. That's just going to run against
They
Biden
can't.
again.
You're right. They can't point to anything that he actually
Show
did.
him doing something that
Something-
was
something
amazing
heroic.
and then say thank God for President
Yeah.
Trump. Anything
Sure,
throughout
show
his
any
life.
picture of his gut hanging out at a golf course.
or
Sure.
any business venture that
Anything
helped
that was
people
successful.
and didn't end up in court.
any bill or any kind of thing.
You
where he's
can't because
passed something.
the charity because he's banned from ever serving on having a charity again.
Right.
So
That's
he
what
can't.
I'm
There
saying.
is no.
I am mind boggled by this mostly because I have family that
Yeah.
still,
It's
Let's
cold.
still,
It's some cold
So
shit.
let's have a talk about that because here's what human beings hate. Human beings hate to be wrong. More than anything, they hate to be proven to be wrong. Now, I've learned over the years that when I'm wrong, the only way I get my power back is to find out what's right and then go with that. If I'm wrong, the power is in saying, "Oh fuck, I was wrong." You know, that's the power. I'm not saying I like it, but once I know that's why I became a Democrat. I started looking at the numbers and I went through history. I was like, holy shit, every time Democrats are in, and then I was looking at my taxes. Every time Democrats are president, I make more money. Holy shit. People always think you're a liberal. No, I'm a capitalist. I want to make money. And I also don't want to hurt people to make money. What we have right now is a bunch of people, and this happened. We put up Zero Side Effects, guys. Go watch it. It's on a YouTube channel. With the people that paid for it had it 10 months before you guys did, but now it's out there. You can go watch it. We're at it. We did like 24 hours. We had like 100,000 views. It was really, thank you for watching it. But people are like funny. And then you'll get one that just says, man, I can't believe you went political. And he made a good point. All I'm doing is talking about the conspiracies about the vaccine. I do this funny bit about where I go through all the conspiracies. And he pointed, he goes, it's not political. You're just talking.
Right. When did medicine become? When did a vaccine
Trump.
become? I know, but that's
masks.
I know, but that's like
Mhm.
But
the
it's not
fact that he's pointing to that as a political issue is like,
But
wow.
you get that people thought that mask wearing
Yes.
was to control them.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, we want to get back to work faster. We want to get the country back on track.
Mhm.
If everybody just masked up with an KN95 and kept it, we'd be fine.
And yet, if you go look in Ohio over the last month, you've got a right-wing Nazi group, literally Nazi.
Yep.
They have swastika flags, and they're doing Heil Hitler
Dressed
like
us
this to protest
Drag
trans
shows.
or drag shows. The other one was trans. There was one trans thing and one
Yeah.
drag show, and which also, guys, that doesn't go together. That means okay. But anyway, and they're all
Hi, Hitler.
completely covered, face mask, black, tied around their neck, then with glasses over that. These are the same people that said they couldn't wear a mask because they couldn't breathe and it was
it
dangerous
controls
to
them.
inhale carbon dioxide, but they are fully mask covered to
Hide their
be
identities.
Nazis.
Right.
Speaking of Trump being fat, this episode brought to you by Fitbod.
Yay, Fitbod!
I was going to
We're
do
not
it
fat
earlier,
shaming.
and then you went on
We're
a
Trump
tangent.
shaming. Okay.
Where
That's
That, by the way, that would change his mood too. I'll tell you what, Fitbod has changed everything about it. Now. So my son, we were here doing martial arts, and he finally just said, he goes, I did this, and he goes, Dad, you're old. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Please
And he
follow
goes-
this with a compliment.
He did. He goes, and your arms are becoming huge. And I said, the difference is I have a program on my phone now that I used to just work out randomly. Well, now I can go through my thing. Like, what did I do? If I forget, like 2 days ago, what did I do? I did shoulders and back. Oh crap, I got to do chest. And what's happened is not only do I have everything, I'm not repeating exercises all the time. I have something that kind of keeps me accountable to get
You're
to the
hitting
gym.
the muscle from all directions.
Yes,
Instead of doing the same move that you know
Right. It'll give me, so there's so many exercises. If you put, I'm going to do chest and buys today and abs. And it gives you like, and then it goes to the exercise I've already done last time I did chest, buys, and abs, and it gives me different exercises.
So it creates a workout program that's personalized to your goals, fitness level, and available equipment. It learns from your previous workouts, like you said, and then adapts as you improve. It then raises the ante a little bit, right?
It raised a couple times in my curls, it's raised the weight where I was like, no.
What did our guy that
I run you, bitch.
Yeah, this is painful.
What
Tiny
did
person
our
in my
guy
phone.
David that had written us about Fitbod? He wrote us again, and it was something like the guy that works overnight in the factory. I think we told you
And you
guys
say
about.
he was working out before he had to take his kids to school.
Yeah, while they were
Yep.
getting ready. But I believe I might screw this up, but it was a move I think was crunches, and something that he could barely do in the beginning. Now he's cranking out 20 or 30 of them, and so it's interesting how you start to see progress. So you may not see it all right away, but you start to notice your numbers and your ability improves. And so
Well, you've seen
Fitbod
progress
adapts
in
with
me.
that.
And you were
Yeah, but in the
fitness
very
trainer.
beginning, I mean,
Right.
you got to stick with it, and Fitbod helps you stick with it. And plus, he's trying to get ready for his hot girl summer, and yeah, so give him you look at that. Yeah,
Man,
It actually
and you're
got real.
old.
See,
wow, that
thank
looks
you.
great.
you're gonna have to zoom in on that. No, I don't mean. I mean so that it is the whole screen. He's gonna. He said he's.
Ow, 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 and go.
You should. You know what you should do.
I'm expanding.
You know the thing that you guys used to
Come
do
on, man.
with Trump's hands, how you made him smaller.
Yeah, that's
You should make his arm really small.
like
No,
wobbly.
by the way, so it's a funny thing. She said for years, she goes, it didn't happen until I got a little more mass on. She goes, used to have noodles. She said that.
He had noodles.
Which you know it goes to prove? It goes to prove that women like you for your personality more than anything.
Yeah.
They may date you for your body, but if you're a douchebag, they'll be like, I'm done.
Yeah, you don't have noodles. But Fitbod is.
Thanks to Fitbod, I no longer have
He
noodles.
said to me the other day, it's like doing ads in our own home. You said you worked out, you came in the kitchen flexing, and you said, my body never changed until I did Fitbod.
Yep.
And I thought, well, that's a pretty
You know why?
concrete endorsement.
Because it helps you be more disciplined about it and more systematic about it.
Yes.
And that's really what it takes. Like
also,
you have to be
I
committed
know when
all the
it
time.
ends.
Yeah.
Like what I used to do is I used
Yeah.
to
Just
time,
open-ended.
I used to time my workout.
Yeah.
I'll work out for an hour.
Or when you were being trained, you'd be like, okay, I know this has to end when that clock gets to the 12.
And I was just getting through it as
Yeah.
opposed to, but by doing it by
Right.
myself, I do every exercise full out. I know I have these 10 to do. And by the way, you can do whatever you want. You can do like if you want to go bodybuilding, you want to build bulk. It gives you 7 things but it's heavier.
You put in your goals, right?
Yeah, I go mean. I go whatever it is. Lean and fit.
No noodles.
No noodle. I go
No
zero
noodle arms?
zero
Yeah.
noodle. But what happens is you get to pick it, and so now I know at the end of those 10 exercises I'm done, and it doesn't. It's not the time anymore,
Right.
which I used to think. Now it's like I got to get through these 10. And also gives you a rest space between it. I told my son, he goes.
I had to text his son the link
He
for
go-
Fitbod.
He goes, how do we use it? Because he's on you can go on it and you can use it for free, but it's not going to give you all the extra stuff. So with our 25% off, you actually get 25% off. Is it 25 now?
It's 25%.
Yeah.
So yeah, $79.99 a year. So with 25% off, that's insane for an entire year of having a personal trainer in your house.
But you have to get up. And here's the thing. A lot of people don't want to go to the gym. A bunch of reasons. Someone's always fucking using the machine you want to use. Always.
or COVID stuff.
Or someone's sweating. Someone's not white.
Somebody wipe it down.
I remember a dude in our gym in LA working out at LA Fitness without a shirt.
So there's no better time to level up your fitness habit, and you can do it from home or a weight room. But home you can avoid the guy with no shirt.
But also, if you have any problems with being out in public,
Well, I was looking really good that year.
Get
I wanted to
25% off your subscription or try the app for free at fitbod.me/Titus. That's FITBOD.me/Titus. I love you guys won't let me get the call to action out your book. It's like,
Sorry,
blah, blah,
ranting
blah.
on it.
What I love about it is we have a little area at home where we can work out, and the body weight thing too, man. Like Jet goes, well, I don't have a lot of equipment. He goes, I have a pull-up bar, so I went through his thing and I just hit pull-up bar, and that's all he has. Everything else is body weight. And he goes, can you get? And I bought squats. He goes, can you get fit like that? I go, oh yeah, I do 5 sets of 50 air squats. Do it, and then call me the next morning.
Yeah,
because you're gonna be like, ow.
Arnold Schwarzenegger started with 1 dumbbell.
Yep.
That's how he got
Yep.
in shape. 1 dumbbell. Couldn't afford anything else. Jeffrey Epstein and Woody Allen were very close friends.
No shit.
New proof is out that they made plans. They had such a close friendship that they made plans together nearly every month for 2 years. At the time, Epstein was already a registered sex offender. This was after all that, who had already served over a year in jail.
On Asian Daughter Week. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Bring your Asian
I actually
That's like Shark Week on Discovery.
no shit.
Hey, Woody,
was
we're having
my
Asian
response
Daughter Week
to-
this week. Come on over.
Man, at what point how do you justify that at dinner with other friends? Something on Jeffrey Epstein, the guy that's in prison for child sex trafficking and being a child molester. You know what? Yeah, but he's a good guy. Like, what do you say at dinner when someone brings up you're hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, even and you just served time for being a sex offender? I don't.
He had great taste in art and curating.
Yeah, he's a great cook.
He's always had a full Hooters punch card. The guy.
Those are too old for him.
Yeah.
Also, we just found out today, which I had totally guessed, that when Pence testified for 5 hours to the grand jury last week, Jack Smith was sitting in the room the whole time watching, which is very rare for him to show up. But I guess he wanted to see it personally.
Waving like a John Wick gun.
Yeah, I just saw. He's like, hello, Mr. Anderson. Like he just pictured Pence sitting there. I don't know what to say. Yeah, but
Also in the news, Donald Trump is not going to put up not one, defense witnesses in the rape and defamation case that's going on right now.
All I can think about that is that the fix is in. It's New York. All I can think about that is because his lawyer said he's not showing up to testify. He's not going to defend himself. He doesn't do anything. They're either going to settle with her, but I think it's going to get thrown out because of time.
Someone said, Joyce, what's her name? The law professor who we like a lot. She said that it's very rare for him to go to trial. She said, I have to believe that he tried to settle this. That's been his MO for decades.
Right, but he has probably the record number of
cases. It's her, she said. I bet you she wouldn't
no.
take a settlement because it's not about money.
Right.
She's done well on her own.
Yeah.
She also said, which was this kind of hurt my heart a little bit. She said because of that incident, she hasn't been able to have a relationship since that whole time. And
tell about the deposition clip that you got to see though of Trump because he was deposed and they used some of that in court. Because the thing he has said from the beginning is she's not my type.
She's
not good looking enough for me.
The lawyer came and goes. Well, so he said she's not my type. She's not. I would never. Why?
So if she was your type,
because she's not good looking. Yeah, if she was beautiful,
do you
I'd rape
see
her.
Many layers of.
That's by the way. That you'd have been great on the debate. So if she was good looking to your liking, you'd rape her in a in the dressing room. Yes, of course I would because she was there.
Got to get back to the God and Jesus.
They let you do anything.
Yes, exactly.
You grab. So he said. So they go. Who's this, Mr. Trump? Who's this picture? This was a picture of E. Jean Carroll back in the day. And he goes, who is this? And he goes, that's my ex-wife, Marla Maples. She looked almost just
identical.
Like
his type.
Yeah, exactly. She was his type. She was his type.
In fact, he thought she was his wife.
Wow, maybe that's what he thought at the time. That could have been his defense. I thought it was my wife.
By the way, you are now on the team.
My hair was in the way.
You are on the team. Now, Highlander, my lawyer Highlander will be handling everything from now on.
Highlander. Highlander. I always, whenever you say his name now, I hear you guys singing.
Yeah, with the
Highlander.
jingle.
Highlander.
So I think here's what I think. I think we have. I wish
I'm
I
running
could. I
you
wish I
guys
could.
through.
I wish I could say to everybody on the Republican side that continues to believe the bullshit. The vaccine. Listen, here's why I know vaccines work. I don't have polio. I've never gotten polio. I don't know anybody who's a little poly. I've said that before. Here's what else. As I know that now when I have gotten COVID since I was vaccinated, it lasted for a day. I sweat through I had a mild fever, like a bad cold, and that was it. I don't have any long-term COVID symptoms. I know it worked. I didn't die. I was never on a ventilator. So when these people start saying crazy, and they go, but Fauci said masks don't work, and I start looking that up, and it's not true. And the problem is these people just don't want to be wrong. But the problem is by continuing to stick to your guns in the face of all that evidence, you just are wrong. And you look not just stupid for not knowing it, but stupid for standing your ground in the face of overwhelming evidence. And I'm talking at what she was saying across the board, whether it's religion, where, I'm a Christian and Trump's our guy. Well, then you can't be that. Trump's either your guy or you're a Christian. There's no both sides of that. Yeah. You are the Christian or you believe that we should figure out how to help befriend the stranger. It's bullshit. People say they're Christians to give them a shot of dopamine, except they're not standing for anything Christian. Taking women's rights away is not freedom. If you say I'm an American, I stand for freedom, I'm a patriot, then do you stand for kids getting shot in school? Yeah. And when you start breaking down all the reasons why around the world gun control works, people say, you want to take our guns? Nobody wants to take your guns. We just want to make sure that a guy who's on his way to a fucking appointment to be evaluated for a mental illness can't buy one. That's all.
Here's the other thing about just going back to the COVID days and the mask and the vaccine and everything. If it was such a political issue, why was the rest of the entire planet having to also deal with it? And some were dealing with it better than others with, masks and lockdowns and all that other shit. Why did it become political here?
Well, I read an article with Fauci that was for Vanity Fair. It was a really long article. I read it yesterday. And even Fauci was going, they kept asking him that. And he goes, listen, he's so classy because he could have just, if I would have been interviewed, I'd be like, because this motherfucker wouldn't let us. He's like, you don't, it's not real. He said, it became a divisive issue as opposed to gives and then someone called him on like, well, you're the head of it. How come we had such a worse outcome than other countries? And he said, because our country picked sides. Yeah. Other countries were like, oh shit, everybody went, COVID.
We're all in this together.
We're all in this together. Yeah. Let's stop it. And we went, you're a libtard. And we went, you're a moron redneck. And because of that, and then Fauci pointed out, he goes, if you look at it, he goes, go look at the red states death rate and go look at the blue states red rate. The red states death rate is so much higher. It's insane. Yeah. It's 7. I read it yesterday. It's 2.6 to 7% or 7 times, not 7%, 7 times higher in red states, the death rate. Mm-hmm. So again, we're back to this. In the face of overwhelming fucking evidence, you can still stand there and go, I don't believe that. It doesn't matter. At one point, just get some critical thinking and go, wow, if that's the evidence, this is what I do. I've done this. I believe some shit hardcore. And then I saw some evidence that made this look stupid. And I realized, I'm a moron. Yeah. I believe this now. Why? Because this is the evidence. Yeah. You can't, by staying dumb, you're making me think you're even worse. You're even stupider. Or more stupid.
There's a lot of words in the English language that we modify. It's true.
So Webster's eventually just gives in.
It used to
they keep saying stupid or fuck it, just put it in the book. God damn it.
It used to be your fort. your fort is comedy. Now, because everyone said forte, it's like we tried to sound smart. Forte. They now both are in the dictionary.
So it's also a living document.
I like there's a whole department at Webster's where it's just one guy, just mildly insane.
Yeah.
Just
what are they saying on TikTok now?
Are they saying it more? God damn it. Put it in. Put it in.
So we're running over current events. The fraud case that Letitia James has ongoing against Trump and Trump Org and his kids in New York. She has now had to ask the judge to intervene because they are supposed to be turning over discovery evidence that has been
Trump's being slow with evidence?
Well, they started, but then it significantly slowed down or stopped. So last week, Letitia James wrote a letter to the court and said that there was an unexplained drop-off in emails for Ivanka Trump as one of the issues. She's going through a lot of stuff. Already, Trump had to pay over $100,000 in contempt charges for this.
Wow.
So this judge will charge him. But I just wanted you to hear the difference. In the meantime, he's been calling Letitia James racist names. But the letter says that a significant decline in emails turned over from Ivanka Trump. They started from an average of 1,200 emails per month in the first 9 months of 2014.
Wow.
The emails they turned over in 2016 averaged 37 a month. 37 total.
And she was in the White House at that time.
She was running. Well, no, they went in actually in 2017, right?
Right.
But she was running a campaign in 2016
and 17.
Got in. No, they got in January, right?
Right. So through right all the way through 2016, right?
It's very busy time for her and her father. 37 emails.
Busy with the Goya beans.
But he's totally innocent. Also, Marjorie Taylor Greene has said that we can expect to see impeachment.
For what?
Charges. She said that it has to do that they now have evidence of Biden crimes, that he was involved. She did a breaking news video that was released by herself.
You can't break news yourself about you and what you're doing.
As vice
breaking
president,
news, I'm a comedian.
And now as president, Biden and his family members, what they have been doing and what it's doing to this country. She claims a whistleblower came forward to reveal records that purportedly tie Biden directly to foreign nationals in an alleged pay-for-play scheme to influence policy decisions. A whistleblower. What we're finding out now, there will very likely have to be new articles of impeachment with new information added, because remember, she tried it at the beginning and people were like,
right.
So
the news would be all over this. Right?
Yeah, I love that she's got the scoop.
Yeah. So Sporkfoot has the inside track.
You're so mean. Chuck Grassley and James Comer sent a letter to FBI Director Christopher Wray asking him to send a form in order to fully prove the allegations.
What does that mean?
Meaning, I guess that the FBI would have a form that he filled out, probably a disclosure form. Right. And so they need that form to fully prove these allegations.
So this happens a lot. This has happened before Tucker got fired. This happens a lot. Do you remember when Tucker had the laptop? The laptop's on the way. Next Wednesday, we're going to be bringing the Hunter's laptop. And then he goes, well, I made a mistake. I sent it through the mail and it got lost.
Wait.
So,
Tucker, let me ask you a question.
Yeah?
You were with the laptop.
Yeah,
and
yes, I was.
Documents all printed out.
100%.
And you flew back to D.C. Where you do your show.
Right.
And you didn't just carry the document?
I shipped it because I thought it would be safer than being on my possession all the time.
Letting it out of your own possession and
the most important piece of evidence to basically back up everything I've said about this current criminal president. Yes. I decided to turn it over to a guy that drives a truck in shorts.
Okay. Got it. And not even a good color shorts. So I think, okay, thank you. I was kind of waiting for you to close it that way. So, okay, got it, Tucker. Thank you. This episode also brought to you by HelloFresh, another company we love. Kind of love getting to these companies because I'm like, oh, I love them too.
That's weird. Every time you bring one up, I'm like, when you bring up Fitbot, I'm like, it's the same with HelloFresh. HelloFresh, the food is always so good.
Meal delivery. Mm-hmm. But you learn to cook at the same time, but it's easy, step-by-step instructions. You get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients, and they have seasonal recipes. You never get bored. It changes every week. And I go and click on the date at the top and it skips to the menu for that week. And you have to scroll. There's so many things to choose from, and they give you 3 that they choose, and you can just trade them out for whatever, add another one. So I always see something else where I'm like, oh, that sounds good too. So then I'll add that.
Right.
You can choose how often, how many people. We do 3 times a week. 2 people, but sometimes I like to do 4 people so we have leftovers because it's so good.
Well, that's also good because then when you cook the once and you get the 2 nights. That's what I like about that.
I like it and for lunch the next day.
True,
too.
that's what I mean.
So if you guys are going into an office, get the 4 people and then put it in a Tupperware thing, take it for lunch. It's so good the next day. And my latest biggest surprise is those ground pork tacos, where
Right.
you made the crema
Same.
and the cabbage slaw.
Yep.
Getting a little bit,
And I'm not a big. I would never go to the supermarket
And buy pork.
and like buy and make a pork
I wouldn't either.
recipe. But when you see it, I'm like, oh wait, that might be good.
The sauce on it, those were
Insane.
one of my favorite things now.
Yeah, pretty
It's
good.
all good, but so try things that even you don't think, because they've tested
the pork,
it.
Yeah, the pork. They also every time you've said this is first of all you've done this to me. You've given me a burger or something, and then you said that was pork, and I'm like, what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
not
so
always.
lean.
Sometimes it is, yeah.
Yeah, it was
But
so
I
lean.
like pork because it is more lean than using hamburger, and they tell you on the card you can also substitute beef or chicken if you want to, so that you get options and stuff. Also, they're doing Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, so you get limited time authentic recipes, which is kind of cool. Fit and wholesome, you can choose pescatarian, you can choose veggie. So you're tailoring it. It's like fit bod for your meals. You're tailoring it, and you're not going to get the same stuff over and over again.
Didn't the Mandalorians kill the pescatarians in
Oh my God.
That's in
in
season
Star
2.
Wars? Season 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought the pescatarians were problem.
Yeah.
They also have HelloFresh
The side of
Market, so you
Grogu.
can get little extra things. Very cool, very fun, and easy to do, and makes you a better cook. So go to HelloFresh.com/Titus16, use code Titus16, and you get 16 free meals plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Titus16, promo code Titus16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. America's #1 meal kit.
Make your life easier, people. And it's good.
And
It's
make
worth
it better. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
worth it.
it's just good. I'm sometimes skeptical when I
No.
see and I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And every time it's amazing.
We haven't had. You're right. We haven't had something. Have you had something where you like,
No,
No.
nothing. I get the orders for like 4 because I'm like, I'm going to have leftovers. I
Right.
want to it's like meal prepping. And then I end up eating it all in one night.
Oh, that's why you made that face
I
when
was
I
like- I
said
was
it's
thinking
good
about it, like,
the next
oh.
day. It's
Should I talk
so
about- yeah.
good.
It's so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
when you were coming home after I'd made those tacos, I was like, he is, because you love anything.
Yep.
As Grandma said, anything in a burrito.
anything.
And so, yeah, I was excited about those. I'm definitely getting those again.
What happens if if they don't just like what happens if they don't move the debt ceiling? What if they don't extend it? What happens? I mean, all I know is that people that can't afford it, government workers don't get paid. They stop paying people, and that's bullshit. But I want people to be clear. During Trump, when Trump was in office, they extended it 3 times. Not even a problem. And
So a debt default could trigger an economic downturn. Also, we could be downgraded. Our creditworthiness as
America's
a
credit, right?
country could be downgraded, which is, as if you've ever had bad credit, you know how bad
It's like
that
it'd be
is.
like America. That's what I said. America has an ex-wife,
Yes.
and his name is Kevin McCarthy.
Yes. Could trigger an economic downturn, which would prompt a spike in unemployment. This would also come at a very fragile time when we're already dealing with rising interest rates and stubbornly high inflation. How much damage done depends on how long it continues.
I think that it's so funny, man. Well, here's where the Democratic messaging sucks. If I was on the Democrats, if I was President Biden, I would be getting he does every speech he gets up, but he needs to every day, and everybody on his staff, everybody who gets into a microphone, every one of the pundits on television needs to go, guys. We did this 3 times under Trump when the economy was tanking. He was killing it, and they kept doing that. Economy's kicking it, and these guys are going to stop it because they think the residual hit's going to be on the Democrats. And if the Democrats don't start talking about it and banging pans, that's what's going to happen. They're going to say, well, yeah, under Biden, it went crazy. Well, we have 3.2% unemployment or something right now. We've got constant growth to the point where the Fed raised their interest rate another quarter point today because we're everything they keep slowing it down. It just keeps going.
So they're not really concerned about the actual debt ceiling.
They are not.
They're concerned about.
So the last time we had a close call.
They know that after what they did with abortion, after what they've gone after trans and gays, after what they've done with voting rights, they know that when this next thing comes around, they're fucked.
This is something they can Well,
the problem is
champion
all these kids they didn't think about are now voting age, and they're not taking it. People like Ryan and younger, like fetus use work, Jet's like Jet and Kenny are both going, Dad, explain this to me, and I'm like, well, here's what they're doing, and Kenny's like, well, I'm voting. So if these kids aren't taking it, they're tired of fucking school shootings. Now they've got little brothers and sisters that are going to school and they're worried about them getting shot. Yep. And they're seeing the Democrats going, we gotta fucking do something. He's going, can we just ban assault weapons? You guys can have your guns,
yep.
But just this shit like where that shoots a 223 round that's gonna rip a hole in people. Can we just stop that? Mm-hmm. Nope, can't do it. No, why? We need more cops in school. So hold on again, what Ray said, back the blue, but you want them to all to be standing in schools waiting for a guy with an AR-15 to come in and shoot them? Are you kidding?
But let's keep talking about the debt limit.
Okay.
So
I'm ranty today.
I know, but because we haven't really talked about this because we keep like, all of us, we're like, let's do it. And then what about that? So
you just described my personality, by the way.
Yellen said it's squirrel. She said to McCarthy in her letter on Monday, if Congress fails to increase the debt limit, it will cause severe hardship to American families, harm our global leadership position, and raise questions about our ability to defend our national security interests. So 5 ways that we could be affected by debt default. Social security payments. A lot of people live on those.
Great. So old people who don't have any other income at all are going to get screwed. Good.
Yep. It actually says 40% of the recipients of Social Security payments, the payment constitutes at least 90% of their income.
Good job, Kevin McCarthy. Nice job.
Federal employees and veterans benefits. Stop. Federal employees don't get paid. We have family that works for the federal government, and it has happened before. Right. So get out there and keep working for our government, keep defending our government, right. But we're not going to pay you until we quit bitching. Congress is still going to get paid.
And we actually have family that are literally going to be affected by that.
Yes. Financial markets, obviously, the markets are going to have a really bad time.
Do you understand at one point worldwide, you can't trust us? If we've got these Marjorie Taylor Greene and these dipshits like Kevin McCarthy who are doing one thing, all they're doing is grandstanding for power instead of just getting to the business of government. Because the one thing that Republicans don't have is a fucking plan. Let's go after trans kids because that gets people fired up. Yeah, it's weird. I don't like that. Those voters will vote for them. Let's go after voting rights. Yeah, man, can't let everybody vote because it's going to be stolen election. By the way, abortion. Yeah, man, you're killing the baby. Well, no, you're not actually. Medical relations just, and there's no, how do we create more jobs? They don't have a plan for that. How do we actually, there's no plan.
So we've actually never defaulted on our debt. The closest that we got was in 2011 when Standard & Poor's downgraded our credit rating to AA+ from AAA.
I remember this.
That was 2011. Also, borrowing costs. If a default occurs, yields on U.S. Treasuries will rise to compensate for the increased risk that bondholders won't receive the money they're owed from the government. So this is going to be, another interest hike? Again, to try and offset it. Also, then that we'll have an economic downturn, which would spike unemployment.
Which they would love, which the Republicans would love, because then the election comes up in another year. They're going to blame it on Biden, and they're going to,
It says unemployment rate would jump to about 5%. It's a lot. And then you think about how many jobs will be lost as that goes on and on.
How many businesses will close?
So the fallout benefits the Republicans.
Only if the Democrats continue to not start fucking screaming about it. Because these guys, here's the thing. Great. Good, look, I agree with this. Our government, we spent $800 billion a year on defense. There was a chart recently. It was red lines. It was basically a graph. 800 billion. We're at the top of America. The next largest country is like 400 here. It's like China. And then it goes down to 220. and we spend. It's not. We don't spend a little bit more.
Yeah.
We spend a fuck ton. We spend enough to actually cut it down, still be the number one spender in defense, and have healthcare for every American. We have that.
Yeah, and
we won't do it.
Don't we have bases and embassies in like
600
everybody's country?
600 countries, yes.
Like we're like just.
We have, 600 bases. So not 600 countries. 600. We have 600 bases around the world. Yes.
So if you're looking for your happy place, you should try Sunday. This episode brought to you by Sunday. I love Sunday. The weather's warming up. Although in LA this week, it's gotten kind of cold again, which is interesting.
Weird,
I love it.
Hasn't it felt like seasons? Like we had seasons this year. It's the weirdest thing.
It's been cold at night, but then today we walked outside and it was like 57, 58 when we came here. I like being out in the yard, digging in the garden. Groucho and I farm.
Yep.
It's our happy place. And so spring is an awesome time also to start using this product. We are on a Sunday lawn care plan. They take the guesswork out of it because I don't have a clue what it needs and it wasn't working for a long time. I started using this, sent them my dirt. They were like, here's what you need. We're going to mail it to you with an instruction sheet. You don't even have to worry about it. I hook it up to the hose, spray it, and we have grass like carpet. It's
our
like
backyard is like carpet.
And I would not have taken it if it was something that would hurt these two boys, and it's not. It's got ingredients that you can pronounce like molasses or seaweed or something like that, and it works, which is.
And the moles that are ruining our yard are
they're
ripped.
like, this tastes
they're like, what's up, man? This is good. I love this.
And I've been using another product because you guys know I've been composting. I'm a composter now.
Yeah, between these two products together, yeah.
The fruit trees are out of control.
Yeah.
It is a happy place back there. Cut to a month from now, hottest summer ever on record, and everything's dead. But right now, it's amazing, and it is a happy place for you to go to on your weekends. Everything that you need, they send to you with instructions, and you just do what they say, and it will change your lawn and change your happiness. It's easy and affordable. So for a limited time, Sunday's offering our listeners 50% off your first box. So you can get started today for as little as $55. That's one of the lawn plans, a complete lawn plan for $55. When you go to getsunday.com/Titus at checkout, that's 50% off your first box at getsunday.com/Titus. So each box comes usually with two different things. So they say, do this one now, and in 3 months, do this one, or however long it is. And so that would cover you for quite some time.
The ease of it, how they know exactly what your soil is, and you send them a sample, and it's so hard. I said this before. My dad would just try everything to make his lawn work when I was growing up, and it annoyed him. And when it did get good, he became like psycho. Yeah. Like, is your bike on the lawn? Like, he became psycho about it.
I don't know why it makes me so happy, but it does.
But Sunday makes it a lot easier. Yeah.
And I had no idea before. I was winging it. I would say, get this at Home Depot.
I would be something with random shit to pick up at Home Depot. She'd go, pick up 2 bags of this. Oh, okay. We're going to try this now.
It didn't work.
But then Sunday, everything
and extra tools came back.
It was a tough time.
Guys, so we are going to do our sketch show. It's going to be airing not this Saturday, but next Saturday. What's the date?
13th.
And you can get tickets at ChristopherTitus.com.
Guys, we don't do a Patreon for the podcast. We don't do anything. So do me a favor, buy a ticket to the sketch show. Also, and
$10.
And we're putting up, after they air, the people that paid for it, thank you for paying for Zero Side Effects. You guys got it like almost a year early, and now it's out on the YouTube channel. Go watch it. And I'd love your comments. I've been reading the comments. Some of them are phenomenal, and then some of them are just make me so. I always know I'm on the right track when the comments are like, it's like 95%. Holy shit! Oh, this good. And then wham! Like there's like 5. Like, dude, cannot believe I used to like you. Yeah. When one day you used to be funny. Now you're talking about politics. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about Nazis and like.
But you can tell. You can see how it's like. It basically says, "This is hilarious. It's great." 90 of them, and then there's one that goes, "This is not hilarious. This is not great." And then it's from somebody with a flag behind them.
Well, you know what they do is
what kind of
sometimes,
a camo hat.
Sometimes I go click through like, what's that guy do on YouTube, and it's just an empty account. It's just like so here's how much you have to hate me. or how much free time you have to actually watch the special. Then you have to go make an account on YouTube so you can comment and then not use the account.
And then that name you use.
like why spend that much time on me? I wouldn't spend the time on you. Like fucking.
I'm always amazed that
just turn it
people
off.
go to your page. I don't just mean you, but the generic your page, your social media, whatever, your YouTube channel to bitch about you. You're in my house. But just leave. You
you don't need to do
head
this.
on out.
You
Just
left a post-it note on my front door.
Skippity-doo-dah.
What are you doing?
Right. Just,
Move on.
Right.
It's not
this is not the place for you. You've just said that. You don't need to tell me. I don't know you. I would never have known you were here.
And
Carry
you're less.
on.
I don't care. Really don't care.
Yeah, really don't. I don't read reviews
But
because it's too much.
It's just.
People's like, I need to give you my input. Yeah, no, I
It's
don't.
like, I'm sorry you
We're
spent
good.
the time out of your life to tell me
I bet I
that
suck.
you don't like it. You could
What's
save
even
yourself.
better is that people have spent the time and I never read it. So it's even more delicious. A woman threw a drink at Matt Gaetz during an event on Saturday. He's
About time.
decided that he's adamant about pressing charges though because he's butthurt. So previous case of a
he's
drink.
walking butthurt though. Matt Gaetz. There's a whole side walking butthurt.
A previous case of a drink being thrown at Gaetz resulted in a woman serving 15 days in prison because he also demanded that she have charges pressed against
What kind of
her.
drink? What was the drink?
I don't know. I would
was it?
love to know that.
What was
I
the
think
vessel?
Wine this time. Well, that was just dumb. That's just a waste.
unless it was his house wine, it's okay.
Was this?
yeah.
Where was this? At a some kind of
This
correspondence
was,
center? What?
yeah, it was at an event in Miramar Beach, Florida.
It was at a high school football game picking up chairs.
As it was,
A woman, Selena Jo Chambers, 41 years
frat
old,
party?
intentionally hurled a glass of wine at him after she recognized him. Gaetz was talking to someone else who also got hit by a
Did he
drink.
get arrested? Don't you have to get someone arrested if they do that?
He did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
She told the police that she was walking and tripped and spilled her drink on Gaetz.
There
Said
you
she
go.
had consumed too much alcohol at the festival. But apparently other people have said that she was yelling, cussing at him, and flipping him off. So I like her. She's
doing Lord's work.
Both those
has
stories
no
kind of work
problem
together.
lying
But
whatsoever.
drunk, yelling, screaming, and tripped. Those stories all work.
Yeah, it's fine.
Story
Sure.
works.
It was out of my mind.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, she was arrested and transported to Walton County Jail. She was charged with battery on an elected official and got a $1,000 bond.
What a punk. Such a punk.
Well, people should not be throwing things at people.
True, but
That's
someone
not
spills
okay.
wine anyway, so I'm going to laugh and go,
She didn't spill. She threw, apparently
the
hurled.
glass,
Hurled was what the statement.
not just the liquid. She threw the whole glass at him.
I don't know.
Well, that could have cut an eye.
If it was a guy, it would have been a shoe, like with Bush.
That was
Right.
Bush.
But
Okay,
you wouldn't
I
do a
was
shoe.
By
going
the way,
to
Bush is
say,
badass.
Yeah, you just
I
went,
was going to say a red slushy or icy. The prior one, because you at least could cause some damage and not waste alcohol. In 2019, a woman named Amanda threw a red slushy drink at Gaetz during a campaign event. She thought that through. She planned on that.
And he had her arrested.
if you had
15 days in prison.
2 drinks in your life thrown at you, it's you.
Yeah, because
Random.
I haven't.
Strangers.
Ever.
But yeah, it's some people that don't know you did that. You're right. Yeah, you're right. That's a valid point. That's a valid point. Like,
One?
we don't
Okay,
know
you
you,
can go.
and I hate you so much. I'm throwing stuff at you. Yeah, just based on your performance that I've just hearsay.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe it's time to rethink some things.
Yeah, we all have issues. I think we need to get better as a people, man. We need to start. You know, it's you keep bringing this up about because Ray's a good Christian. You know, she walks the walk, and it's interesting to watch when you get so mad that these guys claim to be Christian. Did you see that there was a one of the state houses? He basically got up. He was a representative. Got up and said that the demons, these Muslims that are in here, that are representatives here, and these gay people, they're demons, and they're called them on the floor of the house. Now he didn't get kicked out. He didn't get sent out. He didn't lose his spot. And remember those other guys? They were just protesting about guns, and they got kicked out.
Mhm.
But they were also protesting while black.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
This guy
That's
was
always
white.
different. Rittenhouse is a hero. People that were supporting George Floyd are Antifa. Got it. Sorry.
So if you want to see us, that live stream, you don't have to watch it live. You can, it'll stay up for a few days after. That's on the 13th. Rec Room, Huntington Beach, Mother's Day, May 14th. CB Live, that's the one that's up near Scottsdale, right?
Yep.
still Phoenix area. That's on the 18th. That's a cool place. And then Stand Up Live Phoenix, 5 shows, May 19th, 20th, and 21st. And then the very next weekend, Dayton Funny Bone, 1 show only. Liberty Township on Saturday, the 27th, 2 shows. And then Toledo on the 28th, Toledo Funny Bone.
What dates were those?
26, 27, 28, Ohio Run.
Guys, thank you for making this life possible, and thanks for watching to the podcast and listening to it. I got to tell you that we enjoyed. We did a 10-day trip, which I have to be honest with you, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was great. I know you didn't. I know you couldn't wait for me to go away, but I enjoy doing comedy with you. You're so good at it.
No, I was just ready to go home.
That's true.
It was a long.
So is Poochie. Poochie
there
was
is
not.
nothing.
Groucho was not okay.
Glamorous about hotels, regardless of what the hotel is.
Or jumping in a rental car that other people have farted in and driving.
We
to the
actually got
next
a rental car with 6 miles or 7 miles on it.
Dude, they let us house up. Oh,
Exact-
somebody rolled the odometer back.
Brand
That's
new
bullshit.
Denali or whatever
it was a
you call it,
brand
whatever.
new Tahoe, brand new, loaded, and I
Smelled
get in and
so
I go,
good.
I go, babe, it's got 7 miles on it, and I,
He
and I
was so
thought it was a
happy.
trip thing, and it wasn't.
You're like, did we just buy this?
And-
What now? I don't understand.
Did we? Is there a loan? Do I owe money?
We were dropping it. We got it in New York City. We had dropped it in Virginia Beach 10 days later or whatever. But he slipped the desk agent guy a 20 and was nice to him and said, "How's your night going?"
I didn't do it for the car though. All I did was, so we got there really late, and the guy, there was a long line of people, and it was New York, and it was JFK, and thought, man, this dude, you could just see the guy behind the counter. He was just, and everybody had a problem.
The longest
and then,
line.
And then there was these 4 dudes that kept coming up, and they just kept, and the guy was actually, his credit card didn't work. And so he stood at the counter and made a phone call to the credit card company and wouldn't let the rest of us go. So I walked around him at one point, and I go, "Hey man," I go, "I'm already on the list. We're on the board, but the card was different." And he goes, "I'll be right with you." Those guys, when I did that, the guy got, "Oh shit, I'm blocking people." It was like 1 a.m. at this point, and there's people behind me. So then I go up and I go, "Hey dude," and I go, "How are you doing today?" He goes, "I'm all right." And I said, "You're handling it well." And I just said, "That's for you. Thanks for taking care of us." And then he said, "You have this car."
And then he gave you like a 0-mile Lambo.
Yeah.
You know what?
You know, man, I
Let
would
me
say
upgrade
this. I've said it before. There's an article I read years ago called The $20 Millionaire, and people just want to know that you appreciate what they're doing. You know, even if, and there's other times when I've slipped on 20 and nothing good happened. I mean, I just got normal stuff, but they felt better, and that's cool. All right, guys. And now it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders
Fun facts.
I feel like that should have gone there.
I was trying. I didn't want
We'll
to
fix it
blow
in post. All right?
Yeah. No, we won't.
No, we won't.
We can't.
Yeah.
I was singing
That's
on
when
it.
people in the car turn down the radio. Like,
Titus is going to try again.
it's
I'm going to slip auto-tune onto him. It'll be
there. You go. He'll sound like Post Malone.
I can do it. Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts.
Okay. Okay.
Now auto-tune that, bitch.
A group of porcupines is called any idea?
Stick.
Close.
What is
a
it called?
stock.
No, a prickle. A group of porcupines is called a prickle.
Aw.
That's pretty cute.
You could have said prick. A group of porcupines.
Called
is-
a prickle.
How come we never see those?
Hey, porcupines, do they have meetings? All right, guys, we're getting a prickle together. We're going to get a good, nice big prickle together, then we're going to go.
That's because when they all get together, ow.
Oh, you know Bob Lee that was killed in Silicon Valley, the executive that was killed. He
new update?
had cocaine, ketamine, and alcohol in his body when he died.
And the guy that stabbed him was a guy he knew, so they were having a fight in the street.
The guy that stabbed him
No, fuck you!
owns his own small IT firm. I don't know. Just saw that. Thought I'd share it. All right, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I know we wrapped
So
up.
2 guys walking home in a drunken brawl, but got in a fight, and one guy stabbed the other way. And
We
let's just
don't
break
know
it down.
yet.
Ketamine, cocaine, and everything. Because you know what? When you run Silicon Valley, you got to stay up late. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor, go to ChristopherTitus.com for all the cool stuff, including the Scream Sanity shirts. to Democrats, please start screaming sanity to everybody you know. Also go to iTunes and get the Highlanders album, Misanthropics, by the Willing Bureau.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to auto-tune that.
There was a band. It was a band with Jeff Lynne and
Ringo
Roy
Starr
Orbison.
was in
Yeah,
it.
Ray Orbison was in it. But guys,
And Ken
we'll see you guys next time. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
You can believe one.